Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're just joining me for the first time, my name is Angelfish, and today we are taking a look back at Shadow High Series 1 after 1 year. My thoughts on these dolls after owning them for a full year, especially because with the exception of 3 of them, I did not have a channel to review these when they came out, which is kind of interesting. Also, I'm trying a new thing with the camera so that I can get more full body shots. It's a very weird configuration because I don't actually have a tripod, but you know, we're doing what we can with this. Just because I have a lot of dolls to go over in this video. Anyway, I think we're just not gonna do any like big bold statements at the start of this video, and we're just gonna get right into it. Starting in chromatic order with Natasha Zima, the Dove White doll, whose stand has not been attached to the base this entire time. How did you not fall over? Oh my god. Yeah, after 1 year, the Shadow High Series 1 stands are still absolute, trash. Still suck. But it's whatever. They're here. They came with the dolls. Might as well use them. We're gonna take her off for this. So after 1 year, my thoughts on Natasha is, she still is one of the most pleasant dolls to look at from the entire set, which, the entire set is really nice to look at altogether. They are great. I love them. Absolutely love them. She is a dust magnet, though, I will say. Like, I have to dust her face off frequently. Also, her shoes, with the second pair, they did the yellowing thing. These were yellowed when I first got her, which is something I would have dinged her on. How have I not noticed? You have been sitting on a shelf for a year, Natasha. I didn't do anything to treat the frickin' glue yellowing on your shoes when I first got you because I did not know how, and I still don't know how. Do you want to explain yourself, young lady? We are finding out in real time that apparently the yellowing went away on its own. Okay, that's not normal. Or maybe it is normal. I don't know. Did anyone else's do this? This is not a bit or anything. I don't have the ability to do something like that. Genuinely, I was expecting these to still have yellowing on them. Fully. But they don't. Huh. Well, that's interesting. Well, I suppose some of it is still on the very, very, very underside of the shoe. You can just barely see it, but huh? Interesting. Now I'm worried about the longevity of the fabric. What is this? What are the implications of this? Anyway, on the subject of yellowing, as a whole, none of it seems to have happened to Natasha. Like, her hair is still like the stark silvery, well, it's not stark white because it's got some silver streaks in it, but aside from the weirdness that is me just now realizing the yellowing on her shoes is gone without me ever literally doing anything to it, she's good. Oh, she has lost a few pearls from this outfit piece, obviously. The Rainbow High decal pearls are not known for their longevity. Leaving behind a stand base, okay. Next up, Heather Grayson. I feel so mean saying this, but after 1 year, she's just kind of boring. I don't know. Like, I still like her. Don't get me wrong. And she would have been like, highest regards if I had a YouTube channel when I first got her. That being said, after 1 year, looking at her through retrospective eyes, dress is kind of bland. I think they should have kept the additional black paneling on it. It would have made it look a lot more cohesive and nice. Also, the elastic bands that are, like, for her wrists, for the jacket, and for the shoulders, I don't know if you can see on camera. Maybe if I bring her closer. It's more noticeable on the wrists, but they are starting to yellow, which means the next step is them bleaching before finally decaying and falling apart. Which is why I don't like it when doll companies use these elastic bands for clothing items or hair accessories, like to keep them in place. Because if it needs them to fasten it, it will dry rot and you won't be able to replace it if it's something like this. Or maybe I will. Actually, no. It's sewn in a way where I don't think I would be able to successfully. Yeah, it's sewn in a spot where I definitely would not be able to successfully replace that elastic band once it finishes. It has started to decay. Her hair elastics are still in decently good shape. Her hair is in good shape. You know, it's nylon. It's nice. It's soft. MGA tends to use pretty good nylon. This is metallic nylon, the black. But overall, it's a lot better than other hair fibers that other companies use after 1 year. So, you know, no complaints there. Her face is still pretty. Still one of the best parts about her, if not the best part about her. I love the makeup. Love the glitter after all these months. It's still, you know, fresh from the box feeling. So that's nice. Nothing more to say about her. Because now it's Nicole's turn. I don't know how we accepted this hair 1 year ago when she's supposed to have really tight ringlets. Like, I don't know, just... I don't want to be mean, because I love Nicole, and I think she's one of my favorites from this line. Especially with this outfit, especially with the shoes. I think those are some of the best shoes. Even though we've gotten several fabric boots after this is still, I believe, the best execution that we've gotten of the concept from Rainbow High and Shadow High. Just overall, still my favorite. This material, I mean, I don't handle her a lot, so it's fine, but, you know, if you are a parent who has gifted it to a child, you probably noticed that the metallic part is not nearly as shiny as it once was, and it might not be shiny at all depending on how well loved the doll is, because the thing about shiny fabrics like this, the way that this is applied, it's applied on top of the fabric, it's not in the weave of the fabric, so it's not like organza that's iridescent. It's just a knit stretch fabric with this, and like you can see with time, the more that that's taken off and like played dress up with, it will peel or release the sparkle from it and it will become dull. But fortunately, because my Nicole stays on a shelf, she's fine. She did lose a button. She's supposed to have one down here too, but she lost it a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. No, she's probably not a Star Wars fan. I don't peg her for that. Next up, the first Rainbow High boy doll that I ever bought was actually Ash. He was the first one to actually win me over, which is kind of funny because I think if I had my current doll buying practices back then, I probably would not have picked him up. Because nowadays, you know, he's here to complete the collection. I still like him. It's just, the only purpose he serves is he makes everyone else look good when he is around. You know, the set doesn't feel complete without him. It would feel incredibly weird if I didn't have him. And that's, you know, odd for me to say, considering the fact that I feel the opposite way about Rex, where Rex was one of the first Shadow High, like, dolls from Series 2 that I was, like, chomping at the bit to get, where I really, really wanted him so badly, and I was so excited when I was finally able to get him. So, like, I don't know, just after a year, Ash, he's just Ash. You know, I don't have anything to say about him. The pleather is still holding up well for his sleeves, so that's good. His hair is still plastered down with product. I never soaked it out because I didn't want to damage his flocking. And I have nothing else of note to say about him. He did get some light staining from something. I believe dye transfer. Maybe from his leggings, maybe from dressing, like taking him out of his original shirt, because this is his second outfit's shirt. The original one is black, and I believe some of that, the staining on his face may be dye bleed, because that happens. Sometimes you can accidentally transfer the dye from a doll clothing garment to the doll's face vinyl. It happens with Monster High a lot. Sometimes it happened with Voltageous from San Diego Comic-Con. It's why people were complaining about oxidation. It was dye transfer. It was not oxidization. It was dye transfer from their bodysuit. Speaking of bodysuits, Luna Madison. Especially now that we know she's getting a second doll. I'd say the only thing that Luna has going for her is that her face is gorgeous, her hair is decent quality, and her shoes are amazing. The outfit, she's been handled a bit, so it's not as shiny as it once was. But she's not as strong as the other dolls in the line. She stands very well with everyone else, and the line would not be Shadow High Series 1 without her. Unlike Ash, where I think maybe if these came out now, I would have skipped him. I don't know, I maybe would have waited for a sale for Luna, or bought one nude secondhand when the prices were still low. Which, Rainbow High, Shadow High prices are often never low on the secondhand market. They're almost always at retail, or more often than not, very much above retail. Yeah, I don't know. She doesn't stand out as much as she once did. I still like her. Her face is the best part about her, though. I'm just noticing mine has a slightly wonky eye placement. But I also didn't get to choose her. I ordered her when these were, pre-order from Amazon. Actually, no, I had ordered her from Target. Chanel and Nicole were from Amazon. Speaking of Chanel, her turn. After a year, Chanel Onyx is probably the strongest character from the initial starting lineup. To this day, she was one of the strongest, if not the strongest, when the line first launched. And I still feel that way about her now. I mean, you can't really go wrong with the solid, black skin, the solid black hair with the streak of white and silver in it. Well, it's gray. It's not really silver. It's all super soft nylon. I remember there was a while when someone on TikTok was trying to scare everyone into thinking that it was polypropylene, when this is very much not how poly behaves. Poly is not this loose and floppy. Polypropylene is stiff. You cannot get it to do hair flips like this. That is something that only Kiwi nylon can do. At least in comparison. Treated poly. It's bouncy, but it doesn't do the hair flip, the weighty hair flips like this. This is majestic. Polypropylene is not majestic. She's got nylon. Anyway. Her earrings, they hold up very well, design-wise. There's a reason I have two of her. My other one's in her second outfit, up on my desk in a very hard-to-reach spot right now. Her bow is still my favorite hair accessory because it's got an actual fabric band holding it in place, which is more than I can say for someone else on this list. Her bracelet, though simple, has held up nicely, although some of the silver paint has chipped. The sealant on this bracelet, it's a clear plastic with silver oversprayed onto it, and it doesn't hold up quite as well, even just from sitting on the doll. Her nails are still nice. I've never had an issue with nails chipping on a Rainbow High doll, so, that's good. The plating on her belt is still nice and shiny. The elastic straps on her shoulders are not yellowed yet, which is good. They still are hydrated and smooth, so they shouldn't, peel or come off of the dress anytime soon. Her dress is nice, it is unhemmed chiffon, so there was always a risk of this fraying constantly. But it hasn't fallen apart, which is nice. I appreciate that, and it's mostly because of this underneath, the way that it's sewn. That's probably helping it keep its shape. The petticoat, it's nice. I don't have much to say about it. She's just one of the strongest designs. I still love her after all this time. And her makeup is so cute. So gorgeous. I love the little halo effect that she has for her eyeliner or eyeshadow, where it's like a kind of white faded out. Almost a reverse smoky eye. And then the oil slick lip is always amazing. The one thing I will say is her shoes are kind of boring after 1 year. Probably should have saved the extra pair of her others just to put her in them, because I feel like they would go better with the gemstone motif that she's got going on. But overall, she's a solid design. I have no notes for her. Like Ainsley, who released around this time last year. Now, Ainsley's hair is nasty, and I don't like it, and I've tried to take care of it so many times, but the metallic nylon mixed with kiwi nylon, in this case, like this specific hair blend, it's just not great. It almost feels like she's got tinsel instead of kiwi nylon, but it's kiwi and metallic. It's just a terrible hair blend. Like, it's frizzy, it's not great. If anyone should have gotten polypropylene allegations out of any of these dolls, I would have thought it would have been Ainsley, because her hair is just not great after 1 year, even though I try my best to maintain it. It's just, it's a... My silence should say it all. Now, face-wise, I still think she's cute, very show-accurate, love her. Her eye printing, I don't know what it is with her eye chips, but they, after a year, feel very faded, which is weird, because, they were not... I don't ever think that they were cloudy when I bought her, and I never noticed them get cloudy over the months, but I guess they have. And I don't even display her in direct sunlight. She's like at the back of the shelf. Because I often just I take care of her hair and then I put her back. She doesn't get any direct sunlight. Her eyes should not be cloudy, and yet they are. And that's probably just mine from being in an early batch. But, it's a little disappointing. The pleather faux latex outfit that she's in right now, I don't know if you can see, but it's getting a little dry, which is weird because I haven't had that issue with any other pleather or faux latex shadow high or rainbow high pieces. She'd be the first. The bustier is fine. The skirt is fine. I don't think it stained her any more than she already had when I first unboxed her. She was one of the first big unboxings on the channel. So I actually do have a review for her. It's not the best quality. It's a super old video in comparison to my recent stuff. I didn't even know how to properly do thumbnails when she first came out. Elastic band is fine. It's holding up. Her hair is so weird though. I just don't know how I feel about it. And after a year, I can confidently say if it wasn't for the hype that I found her early, right after the event that she debuted at, I probably wouldn't have her in my collection if it weren't for the hype around her when she first came out. If she came out now and there wasn't as much hype around her, would not have her. Just would not. She's here for completionist reasons at this point, and maybe I do still love her base doll to a degree, but overall, I find myself spending less and less time with her. And she's kind of boring. finally we move on to Veronica and Naomi, the Storm Twins, the only 2 dolls on this list who are actually still available readily on store shelves. Because I'm pretty sure even Ainsley at this point is not being restocked at Target. They couldn't clearance her fast enough when the holiday season rolled around, let me tell you. Like, she was clogging up the clearance aisles for a while. Storm Twins are arguably some of the strongest concepts that Shadow High has churned out. The oil slick color palette is everything. After 1 year, I can confidently say the elastic bands are holding up well in Naomi's hair. She's great. She keeps dropping her bag, though, and that sucks. Also, my camera is... there goes the white balance. But, yeah. Her stand is still terrible. No staining from her jacket, fortunately. The pleather faux latex on her that's like oil slicky material, that's still good. She hasn't lost any studs, to my knowledge. It doesn't look like it. The boots, though, I don't handle them a lot, but they are faded. They are definitely faded compared to when I first got her. Like, you can tell they're a lot cloudier than maybe a pair that you would find in box. And I actually waited to get the Storm Twins. Like, these are not a first batch. They're from early on, but they were definitely not a first batch. Like, I waited a month and a half to get them when they first came out. Because, you know, it was a $75 set. I didn't have time to drop the money on... Well, I didn't have the money to drop on them immediately when they first came out. Now, as for Veronica... She's the one who I was, you know, kind of shading a bit when I mentioned Chanel's hairbands earlier, because if you notice... Also, sorry, she's got a little bit of dust in her hair. The compressed air just does not work for Veronica. It works for everybody else, but for her, her hair is a dust magnet, and I apologize. I don't know what it is with her specifically. Her pigtails are still nice, but, you know, these elastics, I still worry about them. After 1 year, it's a miracle that they're not dried out. But I also don't trust them to keep these bows in place. And Demi Batista from the Costume Ball line has a similar issue, where those ribbons, once those elastics start to dry rot, it's over. It's over once those dry rot. It's not going to be fun. Her bangs, they took a bit of fixing up, but they're nice after 1 year. The bubble gum, still a very fun piece. I'm surprised not a lot of other dolls have had bubble gum since Veronica. I guess that really is just her thing and her thing alone. No one else is going to have it. Which, you know, I think it would be nice if some other dolls had bubble gum. That'd be cute. I wish some other dolls would have this lip color. I love this whole, like, gradient from purple to pink. I kind of want to do that on a doll repaint for Monster High soon. Maybe I will. We'll see. But, yeah, just aside from this still worries me after a year. Also, the buttons have become loose. Over a year, the threading is not as tight, which, I mean, in fairness to her, she's been to Vegas with me. So, there's that. But overall, that is my thoughts on every single Shadow High doll from the early days of Shadow High after 1 full year. Thank you all so much for watching. I know this is an abrupt ending to a video. I never know how to end these things. But let me know your thoughts on them in the comments below. Do you still like the earlier dolls from Shadow High, or do you think they're a lot better off now? Anyway, for real this time, thank you all so much for watching. Bye-bye.